If she actually believes that, then there's no chance of me having a relationship with Robyn.
Robyn always strongly supported my relationships with the whole family. Was Robyn begging Janelle to have a relationship? Janelle's a relationship coward.
I don't have a lot of respect for Robyn, so it's hard for me to rationalize some of her actions.
It sucks. It's marrying the wrong person.
Marrying the wrong person and not having the decency to tell her until 32 years later.
Ah, the joys of being an attorney. Just when you think reality TV can't get any more absurd, along comes the adoption saga of Davy, which has officially earned a spot on my list of annoying stress relievers. My brother, a family law attorney, but definitely not practicing in Nevada, Arizona, Utah, or Wyoming, decided to take a closer look at these adoption episodes. Spoiler alert, they didn't pass the sniff test. His verdict? The explanations around divorce, the natural father's consent, and child support were flimsy at best. So in true legal fashion, he dove into Nevada's adoption code and, surprise, surprise, found a little nugget of wisdom. A married person not lawfully separated from his or her spouse may not adopt a child without the consent of his or her spouse. Who would have thought? This means MERI could have simply filed her consent alongside the natural fathers, and voila! Adoption done, no divorce drama required. But let's not forget the real kicker here. MERI actually came out on top. Thanks to that ill-timed divorce, she dodged having to split assets with that jabroni. I'd bet she's worth way more now than she was back then. So, what's the verdict? Are they blissfully ignorant, too dramatic for their own good, manipulative, or perhaps a delightful cocktail of all three? You be the judge. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. The lies just keep piling up. Sister Wives star Christine was never willing to be a mother to Robyn's kids. Sure, Robyn, keep telling yourself that. She was big mad when Christine called her out on it. And what does Robyn do when faced with the truth? She throws out that unnecessary question as if it's some sort of defense. Classic move when you've got nothing of substance to say. Christine, though, hit a nerve with her valid and painfully relevant point. The very core of polygamous families is about raising each other's children. But instead of acknowledging that RoboCop 3000, as she's affectionately known, went into full-on defense mode. Like, no, Christine's not just making stuff up genius, she's dead right. Honestly, I think Robyn feared Christine. She knew Christine was the heart of that family, the glue that held everything together. If she let Christine raise her kids, they'd naturally bond with her, and Robyn couldn't handle that. She'd lose control over her own children. Her grip on them would slip, and without that control, her oldest three might have gravitated toward the heart of the family, Christine, rather than sticking with the controlling, cruel dictator. I used to think Robyn's antics were rooted in fear, but after that last episode where she talks about her bio dad not being there for her, I'm starting to see things differently. Now it looks like her whole strategy in life is about making sure she's picked. It's classic narcissist behavior rooted in abandonment issues. She managed to make herself the first wife of her ex, Dave's dad, and conveniently never took on another wife. Then fast forward to Kody, where she perfected her tactics. She stroked his ego, and in return, he catered to her need to be the favorite. It worked great for her, well, with Kody, MERI, and Mikelty, at least. But the other kids, Janelle, and especially Christine, they rejected her. And honestly, that rejection seems to explain pretty much everything we've seen Robyn do on this show. As well as, I am loving Sister Wives star Mary Brown on TikTok video. If you haven't already, go check out the comments. She's actually replying to a few of them. It's refreshing to see her having a sense of humor about Kody. She's clearly moving on, and honestly, good for her. But seriously, why does Kody feel the need to constantly degrade MERI? Like, dude, it's perfectly okay to just say, we fell out of love and went in different directions. Simple as that. There's no need to tear her down. Honestly, both of them should have called it quits after the whole catfish debacle. That would have been the clean break they both needed. And let's talk about MERI's release from the church on the grounds of abandonment. That's some poetic justice right there. Love that for her. However, Sister Wives star Christine clearly had the unfortunate pleasure of dealing with Robyn from the get-go, and let's just say, it wasn't exactly a warm welcome. While Christine was busy putting on a brave face and pretending to be all accepting, she knew from day one that Robyn was no saint. I mean, who could forget the little fibs Robyn told? Just before she and Kody even tied the knot, she was already setting the tone for secrecy by lying about dress shopping. Like, really? Did she think she was auditioning for a reality show or something? And let's not overlook that classic move, kissing Kody before marriage. In their supposedly tight-knit culture, which Robyn claimed to know like the back of her hand, that was a major faux pas, like showing up to a black tie event in sweatpants. Christine had every right to be fuming, and quite frankly, who could blame her for not rolling out the welcome mat for Robyn? To add insult to injury, Christine was literally in labor, about to have Kody's baby, when he decided that kissing Robyn was a great way to pass the time before heading to the hospital. I mean, talk about a loyalty test. If Christine wasn't a fan of Robyn, I can't say I blame her. Plus, I can practically hear the gears turning in Robyn's head as I call out her next big manipulation scheme. Here's what I think will happen. Now that her house is almost empty from its brief stint on the market, she'll suddenly become all too eager to let TLC film inside. I can just picture it. She'll casually drop comments during conversations, subtly implying that she's not a shopper or a hoarder, and definitely not someone who overspends. You know, just the type of person you'd want to invite over for a game of Monopoly, right? With the TLC footage showcasing her practically barren abode, she'll try to play the martyr card, shifting the narrative to make it seem like everyone's against her. Classic Robyn move. Honestly, she's a real piece of work. At this point, the show feels more like a public service announcement on how to spot toxic people than actual entertainment. And let's talk about the timeline. It's absurd how behind they are. I mean, come on, can we move the story along already? It's painfully obvious that they're dragging their feet with new content while recycling stuff from 2020 and trying to pass it off as 2021. I guess we'll just have to wait. What, 3 years? Unless they finally decide to catch up. Additionally, Sister Wives star Kody Brown and Robyn Brown pulled off one of their classic moves, lying to everyone, and then Kody had the audacity to shame Christine for being upset about it. Seriously, whenever I hear people talk about how Kody has morphed into this angry monster, I can't help but think back to this particular moment. The sheer glee on his face when he announced that he picked the dress was downright chilling. It was like he was relishing the chance to hurt his wives. He's always been a hateful piece of work, and this was just further proof. I got a bomb on dropping. Oh great, is that really necessary? It feels like he's just trying to sow distrust among the original 3 wives, and then turn around to blame them for it. In hindsight, it's crystal clear that Kody lies constantly and gaslights his first 3 wives. I didn't see it for a while, but now it's impossible to ignore. What a loser. And let's not forget his endless ability to triangulate. The only silver lining in this entire scene was watching Robyn realize that she was trying to keep things a secret between just the 2 of them. Like that's going to work out, while Kody, in true form, couldn't keep his mouth shut about anything. It's just sad. Christine had just given birth to his child, and that alone is an emotional roller coaster. Discovering the lies on top of it all, that just makes everything feel even more contrived. Honestly, why weren't they all outraged? And let's not overlook the fact that this baby was conceived after Christine suffered a miscarriage, which undoubtedly took a toll on her body and mind. Yet here was Kody, berating her about wanting another kid, just like he did with MERI for a while. It's beyond frustrating. The fact that Sister Wives star Kody Brown had the nerve to make MERI a special necklace symbolizing loyalty, and then turn around and claim she wasn't loyal. Ha 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 ha, what a total idiot. You can't make this stuff up. Meanwhile, with her new TikTok presence and those subtle jabs in her defense, it seems like MERI is finally starting to come into her own, and honestly, I'm here for it. She's shedding that old skin, and it's about time. But seriously, Kody's comments about MERI have reached a new low, saying she was dysfunctional and almost pathologically loyal to him. That's probably the single worst thing he could have said about one of his ex-wives. It's like he doesn't even see how his actions have shaped their lives. MERI's loyalty, to her own detriment, is a testament to her character, and Kody's too blind to appreciate it. However, are Sister Wives star Kody Brown and Robyn really that clueless about public opinion? So I had this late-night thought. Do Kody and Robyn actually have any idea what people really think of them? I mean, maybe they're not on YouTube, but I doubt they're getting much love on any social media platform out there. A part of me hopes they do know, and that it forces them to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Maybe it'll snap them out of their delusions, but let's be real, it probably doesn't bother them one bit. I also can't help but wonder if any of the OG kids or the other wives ever watch these videos, especially since the support for them is off the charts compared to Kody and Robyn. Sure, they probably know, but I'm betting they've already got 53 different ways to twist the narrative and make themselves the victims. Honestly, with Robyn's over-the-top attempt at a redemption arc this season, I'm convinced she's hyper-aware of how the public sees her, and you just know she's passing that intel on to Kody. What I'd really love to know, though, is how much Robyn's adult kids are in the loop about all this. Also, when did Sister Wives star Christine Brown and Robyn stop being close? So, when exactly did Christine and Robyn's friendship take a nosedive? I remember a clip from season 12, episode 1, where the producers asked MERI about Christine and Robyn growing close. MERI got all teary-eyed and said she didn't want to discuss it. Fast forward to now, and it's clear they're not close at all, with Christine actively avoiding any kind of relationship with Robyn. What gives? I think there was a brief moment during or after the catfishing scandal when Robyn and Christine seemed to bond. From what Christine hinted, it looked like she was buttering up the favorite wife in hopes of winning Kody's favor. MERI had pulled away from Robyn, which opened the door for Christine to step in. After all, they all believed Kody's affection was tied to how well you treated Robyn. So Christine tried to cozy up to her, but it clearly backfired, and I think she eventually gave up. The move to Flagstaff was a huge turning point in their relationship. The funny thing is, it never really was a genuine friendship to begin with. Christine was always working overtime to befriend Robyn, while Robyn came off like an emotional vampire. Remember that time Christine was venting about Kody, and Robyn ended up crying? For several episodes, Christine had to grovel and apologize for somehow upsetting Robyn. She went out of her way to make gifts and ensure she didn't hurt Robyn's feelings, but Robyn always found a way to turn the tables. Take the recent comment from Robyn, where she said she didn't want a relationship with me or my kids. Come on, Christine literally said, "For right now, I think I just need time." Somehow, Robyn twisted that into a personal slight, acting all wounded over a woman whose life is in upheaval wanting some space. It's baffling how Robyn manages to turn every little thing into a drama. As well as, I'm having a blast rewatching the chaos unfold, especially as the masks slip off one by one. So let's break down when Christine finally hit her breaking point with Kody. Sure, the "I don't want to be intimate with you" line was the final nail in the coffin, but if you look back, Christine had been trying to voice her concerns for years. I mean, she was practically bred to keep sweet, right? Kody would just shoot her one of those intimidating looks, and poof, conversation over. Then enter coronavirus. Suddenly, the wives were forced to face the reality of their situation without the usual distractions. And what does Christine want to do? Move back to Utah. Kody, ever the master manipulator, pretended to be on board in private, only to flip the script in front of the family, making her feel ridiculous for even suggesting it. Classic Kody move. Tell her what she wants to hear, then use the other wives to mask his true intentions, all while blaming the group decision. But during coronavirus, he was hardly involved in her life. His power of manipulation was waning, and he didn't even realize it. By the time he declared he had zero interest in an intimate marriage, he basically handed Christine the key to a guilt-free exit. No wonder she was so chill when she finally made her move. I just hope that metaphorical knife he stabbed her with was dull and needed some twisting to get it in there. Like many women, Christine probably told herself she needed to stay for the kids. But then Kody went and abandoned the kids too. What's the point of staying for the children when they barely interact with their father? Plus, she was terrified she couldn't handle life as a full-on single mom, until coronavirus proved her wrong. Taking Visible for major surgery while Kody was MIA showed her she could do it all on her own. Then, with Gwen and Visible moving out, Christine realized it would just be her and Truly in Utah. But wait, she'd have Aspen, Mikelty, and Peyton nearby. Going back to Utah started to look like the obvious choice. Kody was aiming to give Christine the MERI treatment, but she wasn't having any of that nonsense. In the end, it was a perfect storm of factors. Their relationship was on shaky ground for ages, but during coronavirus, Kody managed to abandon everyone except Robyn and her kids. Christine was fed up, and it was time to take control of her own life. Furthermore, the reality star Kody Brown has big dreams of his own ranch, complete with a sprawling mansion and a whole bunch of guest houses. During the chat with Mikelty, he went on about how he envisions a place where all his kids can come back and live nearby. A lovely thought, right? Except it sounds an awful lot like what Kody's dad already has. You know, the ranch where everyone lived and worked for the benefit of the family. So is Kody just spinning a grody-sized yarn, or is he secretly plotting to become some kind of cult leader? Honestly, who knows at this point? What's really amusing is that the original 13 kids have been raised with enough sense to run far away from that situation. And it seems the OG wives are smartly following their lead. The original kids? Yeah, they're not coming back. Kody can build as many guest houses as he wants, but he's lost them for good. Deep down, Kody wanted to recreate what his father had, a ranch to call his own, a place where he could finally earn some respect from his dad. But here's the kicker. Wynn never really respected Kody in the first place. He saw his son for exactly what he is, and that's a tough pill to swallow. Wow, the growth shown by MERI Brown and Gabe is genuinely impressive. Gabe has clearly put in a lot of hard work, and you can really see the transformation he's undergone. Listening to him speak had me tearing up. I'm so proud of him. And then there's MERI. The contrast between her and the bitter, angry energy radiating from Kody and Robyn is striking. While others are finding peace, they seem stuck in a toxic mindset, and honestly, that says it all. It's clear these two have been doing some serious work on themselves. I'm not sure if MERI has been seeing a therapist, but whatever self-reflection and personal growth she's been focusing on, it's paying off. I loved her comeback to the bitter ex-wife label, asserting that it doesn't serve her. It's not even about Kody. I hope Isabel was paying attention, especially after that awful comment Kody made about bitterness. That was just part of his keeping sweet lecture. MERI's sense of humor has always been unique, leaning into sarcasm that the Brown family, especially Christine, never really seemed to appreciate. But now, it feels like she's finally embracing who she is without worrying about her family's acceptance. And you know what? Good for her. MERI deserves to be her authentic self. However, Sister Wives star Kody Brown, claiming he doesn't want to trigger anyone, is a real gem, isn't it? During that Snow Square fight, he said he'd be understanding, all while shaking his head no, classic Kody move. Now, let's talk about this whole "I don't want to trigger" line. Unfortunately for him, being an adult sometimes means facing uncomfortable situations head-on, even when it feels icky. Yes, Robyn, I'm looking at you with your obsession with the word yucky. But here's the thing, feeling something uncomfortable isn't the end of the world. If Kody feels triggered, it's not like he's going to spontaneously combust or something crazy. He can handle it, he just needs to push through. It's part of being a grown-up, whether he likes it or not. Moreover, remember when Janelle and Christine found out about MERI divorcing Kody so he could marry Robyn? Their reactions spoke volumes. They were not happy, despite their attempts to be supportive. It was a moment where you could really see who Robyn was. What's telling is that Janelle and Christine have openly said they didn't always get along with MERI, but even with that history, they still preferred her as Kody's legal wife. They knew that no matter how many arguments they had with MERI, she understood what a plural marriage entailed and how a husband should treat all his wives. Robyn, on the other hand, that was a whole different ballgame. They must have realized that marrying Robyn was going to change everything. I can totally picture Christine and Janelle having off-camera chats like, "I knew it." It's so heartbreaking to see MERI terminate everything, especially after dedicating so much of her life to Kody, only to be told he never loved her. It's just so sad, shaking my head at that. What really confuses me is that Kody didn't need to be legally married to Robyn to adopt her children. He could have divorced MERI, adopted the kids, and either kept it that way or remarried MERI later. Sure, maybe the marriage sped things up, but it definitely wasn't necessary. Why did they make it seem like it was? Was it just for the cameras, or did Kody and Robyn genuinely think they had to be married? I'm baffled. Also, am I the only one who finds this show to be total comfort food? Seriously, with 2 boys under 3 running around, sometimes I just need something on in the background while I'm cooking, cleaning, or playing with the little ones. It's nice to have sister wives on while I'm juggling all that chaos. Is this a big deal for anyone else? Or am I just here, soaking up the drama while trying to maintain some semblance of sanity? Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.